Gonna- Tonight, tonight we are reading The Farce of Sodom, or The Quintessence of Debauchery by John Wilmot. Playing Bolux, oh, Baloxinian. Oh shit, I forgot to ask you how to say your name. How about that? Baloxinian. Baloxinian?
Balak Simeon.
Baloxinian.
Shaul Rick Chason.
Playing Cunta Gracia.
Ashley Bose.
Playing David, playing,
She's been drinking.
oh, playing Prickett.
David Mackler.
Playing Swivia and Clitoris.
Rachel Sheffrin.
Playing Buggeranthos.
Kevin Bain.
Playing Pacanello.
Marty Goldberg.
Playing Borastis.
Michael Janot.
Playing Penny, and Virtuso.
Bernie Bozio.
Playing Thule and Flux.
Eben Ackerman.
Playing Officina.
Emily Stone.
Playing Fuckadilla. Maria Elena Ardolino.
Yeah.
And playing Conticula.
Tiffany Resach.
Actus primus, sina prima. An antechamber hung with Aratine's postures. Enter Baloxomian, Barastus, Pacanello, Penny, and Thule.
Thus in the zenith of my lust I reign. I drink to swag. And swive to drink again. Let other monarchs, who their scepters bear, to keep their subjects less in love than fear, be slaves to crowns. My nation shall be free. My pintle only shall my scepter be. My laws shall act more pleasure than command, and with my prick I'll govern all the land.
Your grace at once hath from the powers above a princely wisdom and a princely love, whilst you permit your subjects to enjoy that freedom which a tyrant would destroy. By this your royal Tarse will purchase more than all the riches of the kings of Zor.
May your most gracious cause and Tarse be still as boundless in your pleasure as your will. Oh, sorry, that's yours.
May your gracious gods and Tarse be still as boundless in your pleasure as your will. May plentiful delights of cunt and arse, never wanting your royal Tarse. May lust incite your prick with flame and sprite, ever to fuck with safety and delight.
My prick, Borastis, thy judgment and thy care requires in a nice juncture of affair.
My duty still, my service to prepare.
Ye are my counsel all.
The bliss we own.
But this advice belongs to you alone, Borastis. No longer I my cunts admire. The drudgery has worn out my desire.
Ah, your grace may soon to human arse retire.
My pleasures for new cunts I will uphold, and have reserves of kindness for the old. I grant in absence dildo may be used with milk of goats, when once our seeds infused. My prick no more to bald cunt shall resort. Merkins rub off, and often spoil the sport.
Let Merkin, sir, be banished from the court.
'Tis like a dead hedge when the land is poor.
It is not fit that cunt should wear a towel.
As for my queen, her cunt no more invites, clad with the filth of her most nasty fights. Borastis, you spend your time I know not how.
Ah, the choice of buggery, sir, is wanting now. I would advise you, sir, to make a pass once more at Porcanello's loyal ass. Besides, Sir Penny has no soft skin. 'Twould tempt a saint to thrust his pintle in.
When last, good sir, your pleasure did vouchsafe to let poor Thule's hand your pintle chafe, you gently moved it to my arse, when lo, arse did the deed which light hand could not do.
Oh, damn, my script is acting up. Sorry.
Sure. Let's all have a drink.
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 Drinking.
Put it down, Mike.
See, if we had rules, we would all be doing a waterfall right now until he found his spot in the script.
Oh, yeah.
As king, I declare a waterfall.
Don't go chasing waterfalls.
Sorry, I got my script back. What line were we at?
True, I remember.
It's after, it's arse did the deed which light hand could not do. That's my last line.
True.
You just wanted to say
remember.
that again.
Yeah.
True, I remember how my sperm did flow. Truly, I'm in arrears to thy rewards. But let's be active while the time affords. And Pacanello for a mate I'll choose. His arse shall for a minute be my spouse.
Oh,
That spouse shall, mighty sire, though it be blind, prove to my lord both dutiful and kind. 'Tis all my wish that Puccanello's arse may still find favor from your royal toss.
And next to Truly, I will have a touch with Penne.
Oh, sire, you honor me too much. It was enough when you did entrust as harbinger unto your royal lust. But as from heaven, your will can make us blessed, though we are unworthy. When we have done our best, nor your reflections dare, we claim our right.
Those who my pleasure serve, I must requite. Henceforth, Erastus, set the nation free. Let conscience have its force of liberty. I do proclaim that buggery may be used o'er all the land, so cunts be not abused. That's the provision. This shall be your trust.
All things shall to your orders be adjust.
To Buggeranthus let this grant be given, and let him bugger all things under heaven.
Straight your indulgence shall be issued forth from east to west and through the south to north.
Let Penne assist you in this grand affair, then to our royal citadel repair.
We shall obey.
Exeunt Erastus and Penne.
Great sir, when last you were entombed within the straits of Funkadelia's womb, you told her that her sperm did slowly come.
And what of that?
I would a plot reveal.
Against my honor? Pacanello, tell.
No wonder she don't fuck as she won't. Penne has been too familiar with her cunt. My liege wived her in her time of term, and I saw him wipe the cleanings of her sperm. His ranking tarse in tail of shirt he packed, seeking to shelter it from the treacherous act. But the strange dye the traitor did relate, which stiff with menstruous blood stood up in state.
Alas, poor Penne, I cannot blame the deed where nature urgeth by impulsive seed.
Yet 'twas a trespass without leave to swive upon his sovereign's prerogative.
His little tarse doth but for mine prepare, so lightning before thunder clears the air. With crimes of this sort I shall soon dispense, his arse shall suffer for his prick's offense. In ropey seed my spirit shall be sent, with joyful tidings to his fundament. Come, Pacanello, ere my pintle burns, in and untruss I'll bugger you by turns.
Exeunt. Scena secunda. The scene changes to a fair portico joining to a pleasant garden adorned with naked statues of both sexes in various postures. In the middle of the garden is a woman representing a fountain, standing on her head and pissing bolt upright. Soft music is played, after which is sung by a small voice in a mournful key. Unhappy Canto, comfortless, from swilling plenty fall to distress, deprived of all its ornamental hair, fed with the empty diet of the air, divorced and banished from its dearest duck, to proselyte to pagan fuck, assist ye powers that bring down monthly flowers. Come away, and in a trice, congeal these thoughts of ice, comfort my cunt or give me your advice. Enter Contagracia, Officina, Fuckadilla, Conticula, and Clitoris.
Sure, madam, he must fuck with some remorse, since your divorcement from his royal tarse. The day of marriage you may justly rue, since he will neither swive nor suffer you.
That tyranny does much augment my grief. I can command all but my cunt's relief. My courses have been stopped with grief and care. In all his pleasures I can have no share.
These girls, I warrant you, have enough to spare.
I am not jealous, but envy must declare to all your pleasures are unjust. Not that I would deprive your cunts of food, for you like me are women, flesh and blood, yet youth nor beauty can your crimes excuse.
What woman can a standing prick refuse when love makes courtship, there it may command? What soul such generous influence can withstand? I least offend you in your royal seed. He fucked for pleasure and for very need. He pressed it hard, I would have turned the spring, but that my duty was to obey my king.
This I must needs in her defense declare, to reconcile the king it was her care.
Had I a pintle privilege to choose, his prick for any other I'd refuse.
Madam, I wonder such a noble mind should be to singularity inclined. He's but a man, and if you'll credit me, there's many other swives as well as he.
All that and more, Clitoris, I allow, and do my faith to thy experience owe.
Troth, were I you, a pintle I would have, though he deprived me of the crown he gave. Your cunt may claim a subject's liberty, though he a tyrant to your honor be.
Your counsel bravely does my care expel. Whom could you recommend to swive me well?
Your cunt Buggeranthus to a hair would nick.
The general? I long to see his prick. They say he swives all women to a trance.
Madam, you'll say so when you see his lance.
He is a man, no doubt.
He has such charms, you'll swear you'll have a stallion in your arms. He swives with so much vigor, in a word. His prick is as good a metal as his sword.
Truly, I've heard it is both long and large.
Then with my open cunt I will give him charge. I'll hug and kiss and bear up till I die. Oh, let him swive me to eternity. Come, come, dear general. Oh, heavens, I fear 12 hours will pass before I find him here. 12 hours? 12 years! Oh, I shall never contain.
Sit down and fridge a while to ease your pain.
I spring a leak, all hands to pump amain.
Here the queen, sitting in a chair of state, is frigged with a dildo by Lady Officina, and the rest pull out their dildos and frig too, in point of honor.
So there, or you do not make it spurt. You do as if you were afraid to hurt.
Madam, the fault in virtuoso lies. He should have made it a larger size. This dildo by a handful is too short.
Let him with speed be sent for to the court.
Madam, your dildos are not to compare with what I've seen.
Indeed, they're paltry wear.
Short dildos leave the pleasure half begun.
Oh, how the general in my mind does run. Let's go to the grotto for a while repair and sing a bawdy song. Perhaps the air may echo news the general is to come. To stiff Tarse I'll sacrifice my womb. Sing, fuckadilla, charm us with a touch. See, it is not treaty of chastity too much.
That's a strange word, but if you bawdy crave, I've choice.
Aye, that's what we would have.
Song.
Rouse stately Tarse, and let thy bollocks grind for seed. Heave up fair arse, and let thy cunt be kind to the deed. Thrust pintle with a force strong as any horse. Spend till her cunt o'erflow, joined with the neighboring flood of sperm below. There in a swound we'll lie as drowned, and dead upon the shore, rather than we wake. We should our own sad leave take, 'cause we can spend no more.
When Pinto cannot gain
gain
new
new
breath,
breath,
resurrection is
worse than death.
Curtain. The secundus. 6 naked women and 6 naked men appear and dance, the men doing obeisance to the women's cunts, kissing and touching them often, the women doing ceremonies to the men's pricks, kissing them, dandling their cards, etc. So fall to fucking, after which the women sigh and the men look simple and sneak off. Enter Prickett and Swivia.
12 months must pass ere you will yet arrive to be a perfect man. That is, to swive as Pacanello does. Your age to 15 does but now incline.
You know I would have stripped my prick at 9.
I ne'er saw it since. Let's see how much 'tis grown. By heavens, a neat one! Now we are alone. I'll shut the door and you shall see my thing.
Strange how it looks. Methinks it smells like ling. It has a beard, yes, and a mouth all raw. The strangest creature that I ever saw. Are these the beasts that keep men so in awe?
Was such a thing philosophers have thought, that all mankind into the world had brought. 'Twas such a thing our sire the king bestride, out of whose mouth we came.
The devil we did!
This is the workhorse of the world's chief trade. On this soft anvil all mankind was made.
Yeah.
Oh, 'tis a harmless thing. Draw near and try. You will desire no other death to die.
Is it death then?
Aye, but such a pleasing pain that it straight tickles you to life again.
I feel my spirits in an agony.
These are the symptoms of lechery. Does not your prick stand, and your pulse beat fast, and you desire some unknown bliss to taste?
My heart incites me to some new desires. My blood boils over.
I can allay the fire. Come, little rogue, and on my body lie. A little lower yet. Now, dearest, try.
I am a stranger to these unknown parts, and never versed in love's obliging arts. Pray, guide me. I was ne'er this way before.
There, can't you enter now? You've found the door.
I'm in, I trow. It is as soft as wool.
Thrust then, and move it up and down, you fool.
I do. Oh, heavens, I am at my wit's end.
Is it not such pleasure as I did commend?
Yes, I find cunt a most obliging friend. Speak to me, sister, ere my soul depart.
I cannot speak. You stab me to the heart.
I faint. I can't 1 minute more survive. I'm dead.
Oh, brother, but I'm still alive, and why should you lie dead in my pain? Kiss me, dear bird, and you shall live again. Your love's grown cold. Now you can do no more. I love you better than I did before. Prithee be kind.
Sure, I did lately dream that through my prick there flowed a mighty stream, which to my eyes seemed like the whites of eggs.
I dreamt too, that it ran between my legs.
What makes this pearl upon my pintal's snout?
Oh.
Sure you fucked lately. Now your dream is out.
That I should lose my sense. Heaven forbid. And yet I scarce remember what I did.
It was this cunt that made your pintle weep and lulled you into such a gentle sleep. Gave you those pleasures which your waking thought on all your senses was amazement wrought.
Ah, 'tis strange, methinks, that such a homely feat, with such delight, should all my senses treat, that such a gaping, hungry, hairy beast should from its maw give squeamish prick a feast. But its strange influence I do admire. My heart is glutted, yet I still desire, which turns my freezing body into a fire.
All unknown pleasure do at first surprise. Try but one more, you'll find new joys arise. It will your heart with more contentment fill. Besides, the pleasure 'twill improve your skills. Come, try again, 'twill gratify your pain when you enjoy what half the world refrain.
I feel an air which does my blood unfold betwixt a summer's heat and winter's cold.
And no erection yet. Prithee, let's feel. Poor little thing. It is as cold as steel. I'll manage it. Dispose it to my trust. Ooh, I'll make it strong to act as well as lust. Stroke cunt and thighs.
I do.
Want do, no doubt.
Oh, never fear. Thrust out your spirit with might and main. I hear someone coming.
Well, put it up again.
Enter Canticula, and drunk as she sings.
Just the touch of the finger and thumb and pretty soft palm that assured the balm and soon made it the sooner to come.
You did my thoughts surprise.
Well, did my presence disturb your privacies?
No, we dare let you know what we have done. Come, we'll continue what we've begun. Sure, I have lost the virtue of my hand.
Madam, I'll hold a peace. I'll make it stand.
Sister, let go. Canticula shall try. A great virtue from her hand, I prophesy.
I'll not my goods into her hands in trust, but on these terms, that she who first does by the power of her prevailing hand make cods shrink up and pintle swiftly stand, shall have the flowing juice.
With all my heart. What says this princely grace?
Agreed. Sister, I fear you've lost your place. And now for your credit, hold not quite so fast. The pleasure of itself is apt to waste. She does it with art.
His cheek glows.
There.
Death, it overflows.
Ah, 'tis done. And you may thank your treacherous hand.
I would have held it, if you had given command, that I should lose a blessing of this price. For this loss I in tears could spend my eyes. Pardon, sweet prince, pardon this mistake. If all that I can recompense can make here, prostrate at your foot you may command my conjure arse, whether your prick will stand.
You've let out all the spirits of my blood. You've ruined me and done yourself no good.
'Twas your new office did ambition move to hasten to the center of your love. When in her journey she received a fate, which hope and pleasure did anticipate. Muster your spirits up and try again.
Where power is wanting, it will is but in vain. I've spent my last and would fain retire to sleep an hour.
Will that restore desire?
If it deceitful prove, adieu to fucking. Sleep will all care remove.
Come, cousin, we'll convey him to my bed. You see his spirits with our hopes are fled. Though he be living, he's as bad as dead.
Allons-y.
Allons-y.
Mournfully, Actus Tertius. Enter Contagracia and Bagaranthus.
Let the siege with this content be crowned, that which your prick has lost, my cunt has found. Your seed, sir, with my pleasure I will own, was in my cunt so plentifully grown that had all mankind whose pintles I adore, with well-filled bullocks swived me o'er and o'er. None could in nature have obliged me more.
If kings are gods on earth, their queens may claim of goddesses an unusurped name.
And fate in him must great perfection show, whose Tars can please a deity below.
If I have pleased in so sublime a sense, I owe it to your cunt's omnipotence.
This modesty in you does ill appear, whose virtues are to dare and not to fear, whose arms the strength of mighty Mars can prove, whose pricks the standard of the queen of love, whose bullocks like a twin of worlds contain those millions of delight in every vein. This and much more, Lord General, is due to those perfections which I find in you. You must oblige me in this very hour. You know against all denial, cunt has power.
Your favors, madam, are so far above the utmost merits of my vassal love, that should I court in lechery to obey, and in obedience swive my soul away, all my endeavors would at last become a poor oblation to your royal womb.
Still from my love you modestly withdraw, and are not by my favors kept in awe. When friendship does approach, you seem to fly. Do you do so before your enemy?
No, by my head and by this honored scar, but toils of cunt are more than toils of war.
Fucking a toil. Good Lord, you do mistake. Of ease and pleasure it does all partake. 'Tis all that we can dear or happy call.
But love, like war, must have its interval. Nature renews the strength by kind repose, which an untimely drudgery would lose. Madam, with sighs I celebrate the hour that stole away my love and robbed me of my power.
He offers to go.
You shall not go thus, dear Lord General. Stay.
In what my power admits, your will I must obey.
In the first place, give me a parting kiss. And next, my lord, the consequence of this, once for a parting blow, once, and no more.
Could that have been I had obeyed before? Your menstruous blood does all your veins supply with unexhausted lechery, whilst I, like a decrepit lecher, must retire, with prick too weak to act what I desire.
Oh.
Exit.
Does mine your passion to contempt remove the trophies of his honor and my love? Ah, Buggeranthus, had my passion been decked with the state and grandeur of a queen, so loose a love I had not then betrayed. My love had more, my majesty obeyed. My passion, like a prodigal, did treat with all the choice variety of meat, and now the glutted lecher scorns to eat.
She exits. Enter Baloximian, Borastus, Pacanello, and Tuli.
Since I have buggered human arse, I find pintle to cunt is not so much inclined. But though the lechery is dry, 'tis smart. And turkey's arse I love with all my heart. The lust in which those animals I see does far exceed all human lechery. Their cunts by use improve their influence, whilst ours grow void of pleasure and of sense. By oft fermenting, cunt so big doth swell, that pintle works like clappers in a bell, or vacuum. No grasping flesh doth guide or hug the brawny muscles of its side, tickling the nerves, the prepuce or the glands, which all mankind with great delight entrance.
Nature to them but one poor way doth give, but man delights in various ways to swive.
How simple was the lechery of old, how full of shame, how feeble, and how cold, confined to a formality of the law, when wives their husbands' pintles never saw. But when their lust or duty made 'em draw, they fucked with such indifferent delight, as if prick stood against its will, in spite. First rubbed, then spent, then groaned, and bid good night. We the kind dictates of your sense pursue. We study pleasures still, and find out new.
May as the gods his name immortal be, the first receive the gift of buggery.
Faces may change, but cunt is but cunt still, and he that fucks is slave to women's will. And why, Erastus, should we daily bring one dish to feast the palate of a king, and strive with various sauces to invite the grandeur of his critic appetite? And still the meat's the same. The change doth lie but in the sauce's great variety. 'Tis so with cunts' repeated dull delights. Sometimes you flowers for sauce, and sometimes whites, and crab lice, it's like buttered shrimps appear, and may be served for garnish all the year.
Enter Buggeranthus.
My liege, the general.
Brave man of war, how fares the camp?
Great sir, your soldiers are in double duty to your favor bound. They own it all, they swear and tear the ground, protest they'll die in drinking of your health, and creep into the other world by stealth, intending there among the gods to vie their Sodom king with immortality.
How are they pleased with what I did proclaim?
They practice it in honor of your name. If lust presents, they want no woman's aid. Each buggers with content his own comrade.
They know 'tis changeable with cunts to play.
It saves them, sir, at least a fortnight's pay, but us they fuck and bugger one another, and live like man and wife, sister and brother. Dildos and dogs with women doth prevail. I saw one frigging with a cur's bobtail. My lord, said she, I do it with remorse, for I once a passion for a horse, who in a moment grieved and pleased my heart. I saw him standing pensive in a cart, with padded eyes and back with sores oppressed, and heavy halter hanging on his crest. I grieved for the poor beast and scratched his mane, pitied his daily labor and his pain, when on a sudden from his scabbard flew the stateliest toss that ever mortal drew, which clinging to his belly stiff did stand. I took and grasped it with my loving hand,
Oh my.
and in a passion moved it to my cunt, but he to womankind being not wont, drew back his engine, though my cunt could spare perhaps as much room as his lady mare. At length, I found his constancy was such that he would none but his dear mistress touch. Urged by his scorn, I did his sight depart, and to despair surrendered up in my heart. Now wandering over this vile cunt-starving land, I am content with what comes next to hand.
Such woman ought to live. Pray find her out. She shall a pintle have, both stiff and stout. Bollocks shall hourly by her cunts be sucked. She shall be daily by all nations fucked. Industrious cunts should never pintle want. She shall be mistress to my elephant.
Your honors matchless.
I'll do it. Let her swive. I will encourage virtue while I live.
Were Officina here, she would ever the title of Grand Cunt belong to her. With ease you may thrust in your double fist.
She has as good a cunt as ever pissed.
That mighty orifice of nature's gate gave once delight, but ne'er did propagate. Products spoil cunts. Flux does allow that what like woman was, it makes like cow.
But fruitless cunts by frigging may be spoiled when they use dildos big as newborn child.
Enter Thule.
He enters again. My liege, a stranger at your royal gate does from Gomorrah for a message wait, who 40 striplings now does with him bring.
Oh, 'tis a present from our brother king. Conduct him in. 'Twas very kindly done of brother Tarsal. This has saved my son. I love strange flesh. A man's prick cannot stand within the limits of his own command. I have fucked and buggered all the land. Pleasure should strive as much in time of peace as power in time of battle to increase.
Thule comes in with the striplings.
So beautiful a troop I have not seen. How fares our brother Tarsal and his queen?
All hail and health from these were sent by me, and this from them vouchsafe, O king, to thee.
There is a letter.
Of the fairest of the damsels, for the remembrance, in manifold expressions, joy in your gates, honor in your high places, and in your retirements, pleasure in abundance. Gomorrah, Tarsal. 'Tis well, stranger, thanks. And go tell thy lord that what the limits of my land afford, you may command like me what cunts do live within my precincts that are fit to swive. By Thule we intend to send a score of modern virgins, if we can find more. We shall with careful expedition send. Meanwhile, our love and honor recommend. Today, divert the stranger while he stays with wine, and with our Sodominian plays. Receive him kindly, my commands fulfill, and let him fuck and bugger what he will. Here are my valued gems. These are to me more than the riches of the treasury.
Pointing to the boys.
What? Does my crown and jewels do me good? Jewels and gold are clay to flesh and blood. Grace every chamber with a handsome boy, and here's my pretty darling and my joy.
Pointing to one of the boys.
Go, and prepare what to my pleasure's done. The choice of their apartments left to you.
Exeunt all but the king and a boy.
Come, my soft flesh, and Sodom's dear delight, to honored lust thou art betrayed tonight. Lust for thy beauty cannot brook delay. Between thy pretty haunches I will play.
Exeunt omnes. Actus quartus, enter. Officina, fuccadilla, conticula, clitoris, and virtuoso.
Let's see this late improvement of your art. These dildos are not worth a fart.
They are not stiff.
The muzzle is too small.
Nor long enough.
Lord, that's all in all. Wherefore, virtuoso, do you bring so weak and such a bauble of a thing?
Madam, the philosophical demonstration, these are inverted with a full intention to gratify the most ingestive veins that course in blood or seed in yolk restrained.
Oh, fie. They scarce exceed a virgin's span, yet should exceed what nature gives to man.
I'll hold a fucking. Let the truth be known. He made it by the measure of his own.
Oh! Oh! Busted! Madam! Madam! 'Tis done, and I'll be judged by all. The copy does exceed the original.
Who shall try first? No disgrace if before your ladyship take place. More pricks have I enjoyed. I'll make appear, and I have more experience by 5 year.
If by seniority you claim your due, I had a cunt when no man thought of you. It makes me laugh to see those gossips strive for an estate when the true heir's alive. All your properties are secure, I think. I bore a child when you was meat and drink. Produce, sweet sire, a lively yard, I'll vow. I would pawn honor to make a trial now. So long, so trim.
So plump, so lily white.
So rough, so stiff.
So jointly, so upright. Damn silly dildos, had I but the bliss of once enjoying such a prick as this, I would his will eternally obey, and every minute cunt should tribute pay.
You are too amorous. Fie, look off, away.
Let me look on until my thoughts do give, by strength of fancy, what I should receive.
Time and experience does my judgment tell, though you work with dildos and make merkins well. You have the finest yard that e'er I saw.
A god to rule and keep our sex in awe. Oh, let me kiss it, I'll have it in my hand.
Madam, you are all power, all command. In every charm you rally and surprise. from your kind looks such influence does arise. You raise my prick and frig it with your eyes.
Oh, now, my dear, a part of womankind can give what your abortive love can find. My loving cunt will give you more joys to you than all the beauty of mine eyes can do.
Takes him by the prick.
This engine made of human flesh and grain, my drudging pleasure, our delight and pain. The prince's profit, the poor man's joy and care, the cuckold's surety, the rich man's despair. Direct thyself to my indulgent cunt, thou kind reliever of all woman's wants.
My power, my power long since was, my power long since was in the puddle drowned. See and behold, the seed lies on the ground.
Why'd you drop it? Heal on it 'tis so, oh madam, I'm cursed.
He seems indisposed.
What now? Not well?
Now prick has done his worst, that bliss for which my cunt so long did stay, he gave to fancy, and 'tis thrown away.
Thus 'tis with lovers young and full of fire. Fruition is as forward as desire. They're apt to make their compliments before they come to see the keyhole of the door. Oh, cursed impostor, quashed to perfect joy, that does love's fruit before 'tis ripe destroy. The worst of Tarsus may well make such moan when the prickmaker cannot rule his own.
Exeunt omnes. Actus quintus. A grove of cypress and other trees cut in shapes of pricks. Several arbors, figures, and pleasant ornaments. In a banqueting house are discovered men playing on tabors and dulcimers with their pricks, and women with juice harps in their cunts. A youth under a palm tree sitting in a melancholy manner sings. Oh, gentle Venus, he's a prick that owns thy cunt a queen, that Lacey suffered by a loss, and spits out blood as green as grass and cankers as 15. And it panting lies, and fain it would but cannot rise. And what it's got betwixt her thighs, it grieves to feel such poxy pain, and it draws back again. Enter Poloxomian, Barastus, and Pacanello.
Which of the gods more than myself can do?
Alas, sir, they are pimps compared to you.
I'll heaven invade and bugger all the gods, and drain the springs of their immortal gods. I'll make them rub till prick and bullocks cry, you frigged us out of immortality.
Enter Flux.
Man of philosophy, who pricks repairs, how chance so long thy counsels and thy cares have been a stranger to our courts?
O king, I have these 10 days been a simpling, endeavoring with all my art to cure the crying pains your nation does endure. The heavy symptoms have infected all, I now may call it epidemical. The pricks are eaten off, the women's parts are withered more than their despairing hearts. Out in harbor, heavy discontents, complaining sorely of their fundaments. The old do curse and envy all that swive, and yet, in spite of impotence, will strive to fuck and bugger, though they stink alive. The young, who ne'er on nature did impose to rob her charter or pervert her laws, are taught at last to break all former vows, and do what love and nature disallows.
What act does love and nature contradict?
That for which heaven does these pain inflict. Nor do the beauties of thy throne escape. The queen is damned, Prince Cricket has a clap.
Oh no!
Raving and mad the princess is become, with pains and ulcerations in her womb.
Curse upon fate to punish us for naught. Can no redress, no punishment be sought?
To love and nature all their rights restore. Fuck no men, and let buggery be no more. It does the propagable end destroy, which nature gave with pleasure to enjoy. Please her and she'll be kind. If you displease, she turns into corruption and disease.
How can I leave my own beloved sin, that has so long my dear companion been?
Sir, it will prove the shortening of your life.
Then must I go to the old whore, my wife?
Oh,
Oh,
Why did the gods, who gave me leave to be a king, not grant me immortality? To be a substitute for heaven at will? I'll scorn the gift. I'll reign and bugger still.
Yes.
the clouds break up and fiery demons appear in the air. They dance and sing. Does anybody want to sing?
Sure.
All right.
Let's all sing.
Yeah.
Briggs,
Briggs,
Live and
live
valley,
Valley,
rise up
kiss
and
rise
rise
valley,
up
up and
valley,
valley,
earth
blasphemy and swear.
Here
Here
are
are
all
all
the
the
Yeah,
air.
those
Those
will
will
fire your
despair.
bollocks,
Fire your
despair.
parabolic
bollocks,
singes,
Bottom
on the hinges,
Hugger,
hugger,
Bugger.
hugger,
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 fires,
mugger,
fires descend,
fire
Fire
descends,
man.
tis too late to mend.
To mend, to mend.
They vanish
Poof.
in smoke.
Those were demons.
Ghost of Conta Gracia appears.
Tyrant, thy day of doom just now is come, when thou and all thy skill shall be one funeral pile. My wretched spirit fears thy want of penitence and tears. I now hell's miseries partake for thy damned sake. We'll shortly meet again with howlings, plague, and pain. I'll stay for you on the other side of the lake.
She descends.
Pox on these sights. I'd rather have a whore.
Or I a cunt's rival.
For heaven's sake, no more. Nature puts me in prophetic fear. Behold, the heavens in a flame appear.
Let heaven descend and set the world on fire. We to some darker cavern will retire. There on thy buggered ass I will expire.
Leering all the while on Pocanello. Enter fire and brimstone, and a cloud of smoke appears. The curtain is drawn. Fini.
Ah!
Encore.
Encore!
That's the shortest play we've ever done.
They don't write